I'm going to meet Niamh and I'm going to change my whole diet. Before you start making any change, acknowledge that as you are, you're fabulous, but you could become even more fabulous. But say this to yourself: if I make a change, how exactly will my life be different? What will be different about my life if I do happen to change my diet? How will my life be better if I stop yamming about the weather every morning when I get up and just say, oh yeah, it's rain again and wind? Do you know what I mean? How will my life be different if I make the change that I'm thinking of making? Otherwise, it'll be a change for a couple of weeks. But if you know how your life is going to be better as a result of the change that you make, then you'll make the change that you need to make. Only changing yourself, not looking out. Not saying, yeah, when I am older I'll do this, when the kids are gone I'll do this, when my kids go to school I'll do this, when I get this harvest in this autumn I'll do. Right now, you need to take stock of your life and say to yourself, how am I today? And am I really pleased with the me that I am looking at? Okay. That's called being engaged with your life. You see, a lot of us exist and drift from day to day, week to week, month to month. And life is half over before we acknowledge that we're living at all. Please be engaged with your own life, because if you're not engaged with you, there's somebody else inhabiting your life. So the question that I put to you is this: why are you doing a lot of the things that you're doing every day or every week, or going to the load of things that you're going to, or behaving in certain ways? Is it because the Dohertys who live 3 doors up are doing it? What expectations have you of your family? And why have you those expectations? Are you living your life as you want to live it? Or are you living the life that you think other people are expecting you to live? Come on. We should be well over that. We're in the 21st century and well moved on in it. Folks, please get over thinking you have to live by your neighbour's codes. Can I say to you that the biggest regret of the dying, I'm not making this up, they didn't come back to me and tell me. The research was done by a wonderful hospice person over many years, who spent her life being with and in the company of and talking with people who were terminally ill. The biggest regret of the dying was, I regret, and I'm quoting it now, I learned it off because I needed to know it for myself. I regret that I did not live the life I wanted to live. Instead, I lived the life that I thought other people expected me to live. How sad is that? Let this be the last day that our neighbours will pull our strings, or anybody else for that matter. So, ladies, stop cleaning up when your mother-in-law is coming, telling the kids to have good manners. Let them be who they are. If they're good enough and a home for you, who cares what the mother-in-law thinks? And boys, when the mother-in-law is coming, don't be hiding the beer cans. Just drink while you're watching Rory McIlroy or whatever it is you do. Okay. Be yourself. Why would you want to be anybody other than who you are? Because do you know what, folks? At the core of your being, now when I say that, I somehow, whatever, core, I don't know what it is, but it's that thing that's specifically unique to you. It's your spirit. You see, we all think spiritual and religion, we all think that, oh, if I don't practice a religion, I have no spirit. Wrong. You arrived on planet Earth with a spirit. And whether you practice a religion or not, you have a big onerous task on you to nurture that spirit and let it flow and grow and expand. Please, nurture your spirit, whatever it is. We can nurture our spirit on a day like today. We can nurture our spirit at a beautiful concert. We can nurture our spirit at a beautiful service of Christmas Eve. We can nurture our spirit walking on the grass. You can nurture your spirit as we're coming in now to autumn and winter, curled up on your sofa with a big fire on of good Pettigo turf and a good book or whatever floats your boat. You can, but you must, at your peril, leave your spirit unnurtured. And for many of us, in the decades gone past, the only place we thought we could nurture our spirit was at our church service. And of course, we nurture our spirit there. But hey, that's not good enough. That's like giving your kids a good dinner once a week and say, go off now and fend for yourself. There's loads of other places we must find nurturance for our spirit. And you know what? Raymond spoke about the emotions, how good he was at that. And I want to say also with Raymond that when it comes to your feelings, folks, when it comes to what you feel, if you're driving to work every day of the week, or down to the work that you do, and the nearer you get to your place of work, you're saying, oh, this flipping place again, and that, and into this, and just wish we won the lotto and I wouldn't go, whatever. Go get in your P46 or whatever it is, and go on the dole and be happy. Get out of that place. Same thing applies. If you're driving home to your house every evening and you're saying, oh, back here again, and it's not the kids you're talking about, or the food, or some other big person in that house, back to the same old, or whatever. I don't know. Foster out the kids, or send the house of a dog with the Red Cross. They're here today. They'll take them on or her on for 6 weeks in Tanzania, or 6 months or whatever. Change something. Change something. Because this is the kernel, and if you forget everything, you say, she's talking rubbish up there. This is not rubbish. This following statement is not rubbish. It's the most important health thing you will hear from me today. Listen up. When you bury your feelings, you bury them alive. And anything that is alive grows if it is energy. And do you know that emotions, feelings are made up of energy? And energy is only positive or negative. And when energy is situated in a place, It adapts to the environment. So we swallow it down, and it has to expand. We'll be lucky. We'll be very lucky if it just happens to expand into arthritis or a bit of an ulcer or, you know, this applies just to the boys, going bald too early. That's 21 I'm talking about, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? We'll be lucky. We will count ourselves lucky, but hey, if that's not what happens. That's not the way it works. When we bury our feelings, we bury them alive. I had to wake up at 50 because the buried feelings met me in a big malignant tumor one day. So I had to reassess my life. I'm not talking rubbish here. I took 2 months off work when all my therapy was finished, and I thought, Helen, what are you doing? You know, for me, I was, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, to know whoever came to my door. And I went out and I did it, and whatever. A good nun doesn't say no to anybody, so there I was. You know, I had a bit of food, slept, and I was on the road again. You know, so I got a very strong wake-up call. I consider myself as well average educated and a regular ordinary middling kind of a brain. But I'll tell you, that was the big knock that I had to get. It took me a long time to hear. And Raymond was telling us today that for our own good health, it is so good to talk to somebody who will listen. And I'm going to add on, if it's okay with you, Raymond, to say, yes, people listening to us is very good, but we must be sure that the people who are listening to us, they are hearing us. I have loads of people in my life who listen to me, and they're very good. And they know that, you know, if I really do want to go to that concert, they'll say, yeah, Helen, of course you should go to it. Why wouldn't you? You deserve. You know, they'll tell me what I want to hear. Do you know what I mean? But they know I want to hear. That is not good enough for us. We know what we want for ourselves. These people must hear us, and they must have enough. They must be our soul friend, the friend who can say what we need to hear. And she must say, Helen, who do you think you are that you can afford to go to another concert? You need to stay at home one night of the week, or whatever she's going to say to me, you know. Have you got a soul friend? Have you got somebody who can say it to you, or that you can say it to, and know that you will not be judged? And secondly, know that what you have said will not be passed on to everybody in the knitting group or wherever you go. Please hear me. All of us need a soul friend. We all have many acquaintances, we have pals, we have friends, but every one of us needs a soulmate. And, you know, there's probably husbands and wives here. I'm not going to ask anybody to stand up and say yes or no. But the most loving couples may not at all be soulmates to each other. And by and large, our soulmate is somebody of the same sex as ourselves. And 2 fellas over in Britain's up at the counter on their high stools, staring up into the whatever, at, you know, John Power or Guinness or whatever they're staring up at. They could be the best of soul friends, because that's how they soul friend. For us girls, we have to be in each other's faces. You know, I'm talking, and did you hear, do you know what, whatever. Do you know, that's the way we do it, and that's fine. So don't be in judgment of how people are. Have you a soul friend? Don't worry if the woman 3 doors down has won or not. You. Be engaged with you and stop worrying about what the neighbours are getting on with. Be engaged with you. Am I a mile over the time or am I okay yet for a minute? Okay. So, taking care of your emotions. When you bury your feelings, you bury them alive. Now, if you have teens or tootsie ones in the home, remember, when you bury happy feelings, you bury them alive too. And hey, I know people who have stepped back from the edge because they were supported in remembering happy feelings that had gone into the subconscious, and they needed a little support to bring it from the subconscious out into the conscious level. When you bury your feelings, you bury them alive. Very good feelings. Happy feelings, happy memories are the best gift that any parents can give to the children. It doesn't have to be Euro Disney. It can be Smith's Toy Shop. It can be a picnic. It can be whatever. As long as you're with them. As long as one parent. And hey, today we have single parent families, we have double parent families, we have blended families. And you know what? Doesn't matter. It's how engaged you are with yourself, and subsequently how engaged you are with your children, whether you're 1 or 2. That's all that matters. Healthy you, healthy child. Okay. So, good mental health. Do you know? As you are sitting there now before me today, as you're sitting there, you and you're thinking, you are actually storing up in your body your future. Good health or bad health. That's how simple it is. Your thinking is so important. You're storing up your health in your body with your thoughts. And this is true. We eventually become who and what we think we are. This is so true. I am not making that up. You Google your neuroscience and you will learn that. If you don't, and probably you do already know it, but I'm just saying it out loud for you once again today. We eventually become who we think we are. That's why the big question for you right now is, who do you think you are today, and do you think you're good enough? I'm telling you, you are. You are good enough. But you can become more. And that's the task of this evening when you go home. What is the more that you want to become? Who is the more that you want to become? And what one change will you need to make tomorrow or the next day? Definitely before this day week. What's the one change that you want to make to become the more? And how will your life be better as a result of becoming the more? I'm not even started, and I know my time's up. So all I'm going to say to you now is kick ass with the rest of the day and just savor everything beautiful that's going on here. And thank you for being there today for me, because I learn so much from other people. And you're all really beautiful.